Hi everyone, I'm Alan Gwynn. If you've ever been bothered by a bully at work, or if you've been a victim of bullying, it's time for you to help make that issue go away. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about bullying in the workplace next. Hi, I'm Alan Gwynn, and too often we hear about an employee that is either being bullied as a victim of bullying or is acting like a bully to other employees. It creates a workplace environment that can be toxic, not only to the person being bullied, but other employees around them. But bullying can take all types and forms. It's not necessarily those face-to-face confrontations that are so often accepted as the activity of bullying is portrayed. It can be much more subtle, difficult to define in some cases. Take, for example, the employee who is supposed to achieve a certain work result by a certain date, but a bullying boss simply forgets to send an email setting the objective. The employee appears to all the world as being either negligent or irresponsible, when in fact, his or her boss knew all along the work wouldn't be accomplished on time because the employee never had the job assigned. This is an example of subtle bullying. Another example of subtle bullying is that of making fun of someone's clothes or hair, or the car they drive, or the coat or shoes that they wear. If the employee becomes the punchline of a joke, they're being bullied. Classic bully is the employee who gets in your face, threatens you or your job, and normally has some type of end result they're seeking, which gives them superiority over others. Sexual harassment is also a type of bullying, and it's a shame, but you can actually be bullied without even knowing it. That's right. If you feel manipulated by your supervisor, or you often get a feeling that you're confused and things are going on you just don't understand, then you're probably being manipulated at work. And workplace manipulation is a type of bullying. Think about things that have happened at your job that you just didn't understand. It may be a result of subtle bullying that's going on at your work. Bullying includes a variety of issues which lead to workplace unhappiness of the employee. All these things lead to a toxic workplace. And while by themselves they don't make a workplace toxic, we're seeing and hearing of this type of environment more and more. It's not just the single old meanie type of person. It's a whole division of people moving in different directions with different types of bullying taking place. It takes a strong supervisor who recognizes these attributes to help alleviate the changes. Now, if your workplace is truly a toxic workplace, there may be all types of bullying occurring, both direct and subtle. I advise clients who approach me with this type of issue to decide one of two things. You're either going to identify and help remove those elements where it exists, or you're going to exit that job and find one in which you feel more at home and less confronted. These everyday confrontations go beyond what we often call corporate or job-focused politics, and they can simply make your life miserable. Some workplaces are toxic, and there are everyday confrontations between the employees. Verbal disagreements and gamesmanship can evolve into physical confrontations. It's these types of environments where you probably need to look at getting a new and different job. While it's true that a new job may bring on a different set of issues or challenges, it's also true that when you've done everything that you can do to alleviate the challenges you face and you're unable to do so, it's probably time to start over. Let's assume you want to change the environment where you work. What can you do? First, sit down with your supervisor and identify that you believe there is bullying that's occurring at work and that you're unhappy with what's occurring. If your supervisor is involved in the activities, ask first if he or she sees certain activities as bullying others. If your supervisor denies any knowledge or fails to recognize the issues you're confronting, make a decision to raise the stakes and either go to your HR department or the senior supervisor in the company or remove yourself from that job. If your supervisor acknowledges there are issues, help him or her recognize the challenges that you or others are facing. More important is that you've identified the issue and made your supervisor aware that you have targeted the bullying activities for removal from the workplace. Remember, you're not necessarily asking anyone to remove an employee. Simply remove the activities that impact on your job. Third, if there's any type of physical threat to you or to others, you owe it to yourself to speak out before anyone is injured on the job. Bullies are often all talk and no action, but more and more workplace violence in the last few years has led to physical workplace violence, shootings, even deaths. You need to determine if the job you have is worth dying over. But my advice would be it probably isn't. Number 4, finally, if you're unable to achieve any type of harmony or resolution on this issue, move on down the road to a job where you don't feel bullied or threatened or at physical or mental risk. Workplace violence and bullying are issues that are very real. They're negative and they impact everyone in a work environment. Help rid the workplace of unnecessary violence and stressors that make your job an unhappy place to be. If you have questions or comments about this, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to text or call us at 800-335-9269 or email me at agwin@thegwinconsultancygroup.com. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next time on It's Your Business.